I now invite our guest speaker, Kristina Karst, to come up and bathe us in sound. Enjoy.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
I'm so happy to be here. I love it when there's synchronization. Your meditation words were the very beginning of my sermon. But that's the way it's supposed to be, right? And that's the connection of oneness. So I work with sound. I work with energy, and I'm also a yoga teacher. So I'll probably throw a little yoga term in there as well. Don't worry, I'm not going to lead you through one of my practices. So we're going to talk today about spirituality and sound. And as you can see, there are a lot of bowls that are on the table here. We have crystal singing bowls, which are 99% pure quartz crystal, and they are pure tones for the specific chakras, as well as Tibetan singing bowls. Those gold bowls may look shiny and new, but they're probably 100 years old. They are handmade. They are from Tibet, and then behind it is a smoky quartz crystal tone singing bowl, which is a note of a G sharp. So the word chakra means spinning wheel of energy. In the Sanskrit language of ancient India, there are many minor chakras in the body. But more importantly, there are 7 main chakras along the spine. Each of these 7 chakras are connected to a nerve plexus situated within the 7 main endocrine glands. Each chakra is also associated with different parts of the body. The chakras are energetic conduits of life, connecting you directly to the universal life force. Consequently, understanding and using your chakras can easily promote physical, emotional, and spiritual healing and well-being. You easily can achieve a healthier balance of your body, mind, and spirit with the 7 chakra sounds. So I use the actual Vedic scale versus the Tibetan scale when I go through these. So the root chakra is actually the note of C. It's a deep note, and it is associated with the color of red. Our lady in red today. From a yoga standpoint, it's actually associated with like mountain pose, which is Tadasana, or tree pose. And that's where you're grounding in, you're standing firm. It's your foundation. So if you don't have like a steady foundation, you can't build your house because it's going to be shaky. Muladhara is the term in Sanskrit, and it translates to root or support. The chakra's role is to connect all of your physical bodily energy with the earth itself. In other words, it grounds you. And so that's why we call it grounding. The next chakra is your sacral chakra. It is the color orange, and it is associated with the D note. It's located in your pelvic region a couple of inches below the belly button. From a yoga standpoint, revolve triangle pose or goddess pose is associated with this particular chakra. It is known as the place of self. The sacral chakra is therefore all about your creative identity as a human. This chakra helps you enjoy your life here on earth. It's the energy that motivates you to enjoy the fruits of your labor, all above indulging in pleasurable activities, artistic activities, and of course, good food, right? So when your second chakra is balanced, you truly relish in all of the finer things in life because this is where you enjoy them without overdoing them. It's all about moderation. Moving next, we're going into your solar plexus or Manipura. It is the color of yellow. It's the note of E. So we have our yellow with our gentleman in the back. I love it. The location is like in your stomach, about 2 to 3 inches above the belly button. The Manipura energy centers further translates to the lustrous gem. This is because this is the chakra where your self-confidence and personal power sit together in harmony. So this is going to be associated with boat pose or like downward facing dog. You're really pulling in that energy. This is your confidence, your strength, your capabilities. This is your empowerment. So for instance, you'll most feel this when you're angry. You can feel it kind of boiling up inside of you. And you'll feel it when you need to defend yourself. For better or worse, this is your fight and flight response's right-hand man or person. When balanced, you have high self-esteem, you have confidence, you have self-worth, and these are just lovely byproducts of having a wonderful balanced solar plexus. The next is your heart chakra. This is the color green, the note of F. It's located right in the chest, in and around the heart space. Your yoga pose would be like a low lunge or like a camel pose because you are opening up your heart center. Interestingly, the Sanskrit term for the heart chakra translates into the state of being unhurt because it's about unconditional love, unconditional acceptance. It's about, loving without boundaries or borders. Because of this, when you're experiencing feelings of love, compassion, and kindness, it's the energy center that you're actually connecting to. And that's what it means when we say we're sending out loving energy, sending out that light vibration. It's all about love. So, moving on to the throat chakra, or Vishuddha. The color is blue. It's right here in the middle of your throat. So the yoga pose here, majority is like a supported shoulder stand. It's where your chin comes down into your chest and you're locking into your throat, and you're actually like focusing in on like Jaladhara here. So carrying the meaning of the words very pure, this chakra helps you to quite literally speak up. It's about not just, speaking, it's about speaking your truth, being authentic. And also it's about hearing and listening to others. Have you ever been in a conversation with somebody before and you don't think they actually heard anything that you said because they're more about, what am I going to say next? How can I prove them wrong or whatever it is? Or have you been that person where you've been in the conversation, maybe you heard the first 5 sentences, but then you stopped hearing because you want to make your point. So it's more about truly hearing and listening to others and having that wonderful, beautiful communication. You'll get more out of it, and so will the other person. And I'm sure there's been times when you've been around people and all they do is talk, right? And you don't get to say a word. And sometimes you find yourself kind of crab walking to the side to get out of the situation. So think about that. Instead of doing this, zip it, listen. So it's not just the throat, it's all of this. So next, my favorite, this is the third eye. It's located right here between the eyebrows. The color is indigo, or anya is the name in Sanskrit. It's the infamous third eye chakra. It translates to beyond wisdom. It's knowing without knowing. It's listening to that intuition, while at the same time you know nothing. It's practicing that humility. So one of the famous poses, one I cannot even do myself, is going to be lotus pose. That's where you're seated down and you have your feet up on your inner thighs. And the only way you can do that is if you have really bendable knees and hips. So don't think that you have to be in that pose to achieve, using that third chakra, the sixth chakra here. So this particular one, because of this mystic energy center, it opens up you to expanded states of consciousness. They go way beyond the 5 senses and the material world we live in. Extrasensory perception, intuition, and psychic abilities are all born from the third eye. This is because of the brain's small yet extremely powerful pine cone-shaped gland just behind the anya, and it goes by the name of the pineal gland. So the last chakra, the crown chakra, it sits right at the crown of the head. So this is where all those little bones fuse together in your skull, after you're born. It is Sahasraha. It's the color violet or white, and it's the note of B. And the yoga pose that's associated with this would be Shavasana or lotus pose. Shavasana is the part where you're lying down. It's usually known as corpse pose. And what's happening during that time is you're releasing and dying off just a little bit, releasing all of those parts that you don't need so you can be reborn again after your particular practice and you continue to grow. So according to the most tantric yoga traditions, the final chakra translates into 1,000 petals. This refers to a beautiful petal-laden symbology, the lotus. So Sasaraha is nothing but pure consciousness connecting you to the universe. This complete universe is also known as Om, and it's quite literally nothing personal because we're all one, we're all connected. It's all about unity and love. And that's where you gotta let go of that ego. When you embrace the crown chakra, when you fully balance it, that's when you become enlightened. And guess what, guys? It's not easy. It's something that takes years and years and years. And maybe it's not achieved in this lifetime, maybe it's in another. So this is, a glimpse into the chakras. They could go into so much more, really getting into like the internal organs and deficiencies and things of that nature. But I want to bring them over here to a sound perspective. So we're going to do a beautiful meditation. So what I'd like for you to do is just, let's close our eyes, take a very, very deep breath in, and sigh it out for me. Beautiful. Do it again. Pull the air in all the way up. Exhale it out. Let's do it one more time. Pull the air in. When you get to the top, hold. 3, 2, 1, and release. I want you to feel your sits bones anchoring down into the chair or onto the ground. I want you to think about relaxing and softening the muscles that are in your face. Imagine that you have these big buckles that are holding your shoulders in place and they're tight. Unlatch the buckles. Let the shoulders fall. Feel that tension slide down the arms, into your hands, and out of your fingers, and maybe even shake the hands a little bit for that symbolism. Let it go, relax. Any leftover tension, let it go down the back, into the hips. Feel the hips release. Let that tension go down your legs, into the foot, out of the toes. Feel lighter and just breathe. And you're about to hear a series of tones, and just breathe into it. Don't try to make it anything. Let it be. Take a deep, deep breath in and sigh it out. Do it again. Deep, deep breath in. Let it go. One more time in for me. And I want you to hold at the top for 3, 2, 1. Release. Just start to blink your eyes open. And I hope that you found that to be relaxing and that you feel as though your chakras have been realigned. Thank you very much. Thank you.